Hi, kindergarten. Are you ready for work time? Let's cook. Did you color the front of this? Did you? There's one that was on the back. Mrs.Castellano put it on the front cover. So we learned about the word cook, right? We learned about the word taste. Maybe my favorite part of cooking. We learned about the word fry. And today we're going to learn about slice. Now, if you are using a knife, you need to make sure that your parents know, and you need to make sure that they are there, right? We don't use knives without our mom and dads. Okay, let's take a look. Slice. So it says slice down here. I will learn to slice with caution and care. Cutting a finger would be quite a scare. It would, it's true, right? So there's like kid knives you can get, and just be careful, okay? I will learn to slice with caution and care. Cutting a finger would be quite a scare. So they have the fancy A's in here, kindergarten, okay? And there's slice. Next word we're going to learn about is stir. Stir. I will learn to stir, keeping food from sticking, using a big spoon with a handle for gripping. That's a big word, gripping. I will learn to stir, keeping food from sticking, using a big spoon with a handle for gripping. Gripping, the word grip, double the P-I-N-G, gripping. And we're going to do one more today, kindergarten. Ready? Mix. Mix. I will learn to mix each ingredient at a time, following the directions on every single line. I will learn to mix each ingredient at a time, following the directions on every single line. Kindergarten, it is important to follow directions when you're following a recipe, because if you don't follow directions, it might not turn out. It could turn out, but it might not. And so it's very important to follow directions. It is math time. Mrs. Castellano, I'm going to turn to the back. Page 187. We're counting by tens because we're counting dimes still. So we're going to be matching. We're looking for the same number. Okay? The same number. So let's count. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So that has 80. So I'm just going to write an 80, which is an 8 and a 0 and a cent sign. Because when we talk about money, you get this. And I'm going to see if I can find another 8. They might not have one. Let's see. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I'm going to write 60. Let's see. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 50 is a 5 and a 0, right? And then the cent sign's like a little C with a line through it. You see that? 10, 20. So Mrs. Castellano is going to count them all first and write the numbers next to them. And then see if I can find matches. 10, 20, 30. See if I can find the match. There's 30. Oh, 10. This is good practice. 10, 20, 30. Oh, I think I've seen 30 somewhere. Maybe that's the match. We're looking for one match. 10, 20, 30, 40. Kindergarten, do you see the match? There's one match. So you're going to put circles around the two that match. Do you see them? Okay, I'm not going to tell you. Kindergarten, that's all we're going to do in math today. You have this book. Not Ellie June, right? Ellie June, because I have yours. So if you turn to the back of it, you guys can continue to work here. Okay? So I'm pretty sure we did 246. So you can try 247. Okay? Kindergarten, these are fractions. You can do anything you want in here, really, kindergarten. And you should work on this in the there's matches for extra practice. Extra practice, okay? So there's a dime. So if you haven't done 246 or 247, you can do that today. So This says 10 cents, 20 cents. But I'm pretty sure you guys did this already. Maybe not because I didn't write in it. Okay, so any of the money pages are extra practice, okay? Let's take a look at what happened in the dark night. The night at dawn. Yesterday when we read it, remember they were in the room with all of the armory, and Jack tried on a helmet, remember? And then what happened to Jack? He fell. That made a lot of. Could you imagine? Imagine all of those metal, like how loud that was. Chapter 6. Ta-da! In the torchlight, Jack saw 3 huge men standing over him. One, very squinty eyes, held the torches, like a torch, because they didn't have lights, right? So they had a torch. One with a very large red face held Jack, and one with a very long mustache held onto Annie. Annie was kicking and screaming. "Stop!" said one of them, the very long mustache. "Who art thou?" said one of the very red face. "Spies, foreigners, Egyptians, Romans, Persians," said the squinty-eyed one. "No, you," I don't want to use this word, she says dummies. "No, you dummies," said Annie. "Oh, brother," Jack muttered. "Arrest them," said the red-faced one. "The dungeon," said the squinty-eyed. The guards marched Jack and Annie out of the armory. Jack looked back frantically. Where was his backpack? "Go," said the guard, giving them a push. Jack went. Down they marched, down a long, dark hallway. Squinty, Annie, Mustache, Jack, and Red. Down a narrow, winding staircase. Jack heard Annie shouting at the guards. "Dummies, meanies, we didn't do anything." The guards laughed. They didn't take her seriously at all. At the bottom of the stairs was a big iron door with a bar across it. "Down, all of you, get down," shouted Annie. One by one, the guards lay down on the floor. Oh, I think Mrs. Castellano skipped a page. I did skip a page. See, as a reader, when it doesn't make sense, you have to go back and read it again. That's what good readers do. So I said, at the bottom of the stairs was a big iron door with a bar across it. Squinty pushed the bar off the door. Then he shoved it at the door. It creaked open. Jack and Annie were pushed into a cold, clammy room. The fiery torch lit the dungeon. There were chains hanging from the filthy walls. Water dripped from the ceiling, making puddles on the stone floor. It was the creepiest place Jack had ever seen. "We'll keep out of here until the feast is done. We'll keep them in here till the feast is done, and then turn them over to the Duke," said Squinty. "He knows how to take care of thieves." There will be a hanging tomorrow," said Mustache. "If the rats don't get them first," said Red. They all laughed. Jack saw that Annie had his backpack. She quietly was unzipping it. "Come on, let's chain the 2 of them up," said Squinty. The guard started towards them. Annie whipped out the flashlight from the backpack. "Ta-da!" she yelled. Guards froze. They stared at the shiny flashlight in her hand. Annie switched on the light. Remember, they had never seen a flashlight before because it was way, way back when. Remember, they were using fire for light. Annie switched on the light. The guards gasped with fear. They jumped backwards against the wall. Squinty dropped the torch. It fell into a dirty puddle on the floor, sputtered, and went out. "My magic wand," Annie said, waving a flashlight. "Get down or I'll wipe you out." Jack's mouth dropped open. Annie fiercely pointed the light at one, then the other. Each howled and covered his face. Here's a picture. So that probably did seem like magic, right, to the guards. "Down, all of you, get down," shouted Annie. One by one, the guards lay down on the floor. Jack couldn't believe his eyes. "Come on," Annie said to him. "Let's go." Jack looked at the open doorway. He hurried at the guards, He looked at the guards quaking on the ground. "Hurry," said Annie. In one quick leap, Jack followed her out of the terrible dungeon. That's the end of chapter 6, kindergarten. We have chapter 7. Let me see how many chapters are in here. There's 11. Mrs. Castellano will read 2 chapters in one day. We have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Chapter 7, chapter 8, chapter 9, 10, 11. So I might have to read 2 in 2 days. That's good though. Kindergarten, we're going to finish that book too. That's going to be 3 chapter books that we read together, right? 4. That's awesome, kindergarten. Okay, kindergarten, I will see you on Wonderful Wednesday. I love you. Bye.